Hello students. So I am here again with a small topic under solution, but it is not been like neglected. So that is about the azeotropes. So by listening the name itself, most of the students might have skipped this part in the exam. Okay, so it is like a very important concept and a very small concept. Okay, but definitely the question might appear in your competitive exam. So azeotropes or the constant boiling mixtures. Okay, what exactly this means? You have heard the word distillation, right? So distillation is like one of the purification method. Agree? So that means we can purify the mixture or we can separate when a given solution consists of a two component. For example, purification of a seawater. In seawater is full of salt. Okay, but we want to separate the salt and the water means we're going to apply one of the purification method. The best method applied will be like a distillation. So how exactly we'll do the distillation? Like round bottom flask will be there, so we're going to take a salt plus water or seawater over here. Okay, so where we'll be continuously heating this one, so it is connected to the condenser over here. Okay, and here the collector will be kept. Okay, this is how we're going to keep here. Okay, so here what happens, this condenser, the outlet will be filled with the water will be flowing outside. Okay, when we start heating the seawater, like round bottom flask containing seawater, what happens, the salt which is present in a dissolved condition. So when such arrangement has been made, so when you start giving the heat here, what happens, the water start boiling, means the seawater start boiling. So we know the water with a boiling point around 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so here what happens, when we are providing the heat, when this water or the seawater will reach the temperature around 100 degrees Celsius, what happens, it changes its state. Means which is in a liquid condition, the water, only the water will start evaporating. Okay, so it start evaporating, and when it comes to this condenser or the pipe, what happens, since the water is circulating outside, the vapor of water is condensed or converted into a liquid, and that is being, when it comes over here, it is collected as a pure water, right, where the salt remains in the round bottom flask itself. So this is how we can separate. Okay, so this is the example for the salt water. So the separation was possible, it is because the water will be having at one temperature or the boiling point which can be separated, but the salt will remain there only. So similarly, if I take any two liquids, okay, if I take any organic solvents that is been mixed, that is like a homogeneous mixture also, if I want to separate that, what I can do, each solvent will be having its own boiling point. If for example water will be having like 100 degree, means if I take alcohol, that will be having around like 78 degree, like that. Okay, so when water plus alcohol is mixed here, so when I start heating, initially when the 78 degree temperature will reach to this mixture, so alcohol will start evaporating and will be collected to this container, and the water remains there. So here alcohol is collected and water is here. This we can separate it out, right? But here what happens, there are some binary mixture or there are some binary solution. Binary means containing two component, not compulsory two component, more than two component can also be present. Means a solution consisting of a two liquid. Okay, so when I start heating it, when I apply the same method, when I want to separate this binary mixture into each individual component, when I start heating, okay, whatever the composition that was present in the liquid state. So before boiling, let us take a composition around 2:1. Means if I have taken a 20 ml of A component, the 10 ml of B component may be a mixture here. Okay, so when I start heating this mixture, even obviously what happens, the complete solution will evaporate. Okay, when it reaches the evaporate condition, even in vapor state also, it has the same composition. Means here what we did, based on the difference in boiling point, we separated. But here what happens, these two A is to B component, A plus B component with a ratio or with a composition of 2:1. This composition remains same even in the liquid condition. When it evaporates, even in that vapor condition also it remains same. Okay, doesn't mean that A component will remain here and the B component will evaporate. No, both vapors will, even in the vapor state also we're going to find A plus B component. Even in the liquid state also we have A plus B component. So it is highly impossible to separate such type of a mixture. Okay, and that's why they are called constant boiling mixture. Okay, it is highly difficult to separate by the normal distillation, not even by the fractional distillation, but there is a method available to separate by adding one of the separating agent. Okay, so that is not there for your syllabus. Up to this much it is more than enough. Okay, so even in the vapor state same composition remains, even in the liquid state same composition remains. So it is difficult to separate this composition. Okay, so that's why they are called constant boiling mixture. Okay, so I can define it as a azeotrope is a mixture of two or more liquids which cannot be separated by a simple method. Okay, I hope you understood. But this can be classified into two types, like minimum boiling azeotrope and maximum boiling azeotrope. What do you mean by this minimum boiling azeotrope? So if you want to understand more about the azeotrope, or in a simple way I'll tell you again. So this is one example, and here let us consider the water ethyl alcohol mixture. Okay, which we're going to call it as a rectified spirit, or spirit we're going to call. So this ethyl alcohol is not 100% pure, means the complete 100 ml of complete purest ethyl alcohol we will not going to get. Okay, so around 95.6% will be alcohol, means the remaining part will be water over there. Okay, here what happens, now I want to separate ethyl alcohol from water. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll set up the same distillation process like this. Okay, in this round bottom flask I'll going to put a ethyl alcohol plus water mixture over here. Okay, I'll start boiling it, I'll start heating it. Okay, so before that you should know the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, but the boiling point of ethyl alcohol is around 78.1 degrees Celsius. Okay, so it is quite simple that when I start heating this mixture, at the first step, when the temperature reaches around 75 degree or around 78 degree, which one should come out as a vapor? It is the ethyl alcohol. So ethyl alcohol should come out into a vapor state and should get condensed here and should be collected to this container. Later the water will remain here only. That should be a process should happen. But here what happens, 100 degrees Celsius of water, 78.1 Celsius, whatever the composition we have, like 95.6% and 4.4%, in the liquid condition what was the composition. When we start heating this mixture, here what happens, not to the 100 degrees Celsius, not to the 78 degrees Celsius, around the temperature of, for example, 78 degrees Celsius, okay, the complete mixture, okay, that is water plus ethyl alcohol, both the mixture will turn into a vapor state. Okay, both were in a liquid condition at this composition. Okay, both turn into vapor state at the same composition, where when they condense will again be a liquid, okay, with the same composition. Okay, here what happens, it is not separated at 100 degrees Celsius, it not separated at 78 degrees Celsius, it is less than both the boiling point, like 78 degree, it turns into a vapor state. Understood? So these are called constant boiling mixture. Okay, so minimum boiling azeotrope example is ethyl alcohol plus water, which boils below the boiling point of both the component. Okay. Similarly, maximum boiling azeotrope means I have taken an example of water plus HCl. Okay. So with the same composition, 20.3% means where we have 20.3 ml of HCl and remaining will be water. Okay, this is the composition in a liquid condition. I'll take same composition to this round bottom flask. Okay, water we have 100 degrees Celsius boiling point, where HCl has minus 85 degree. Okay, so here what happens when I start heating this one with the same composition, the complete mixture will turn into vapor state and it will get condensed and is collected with the same composition. Okay, so I was like unable to separate the water and HCl from this mixture. Okay, and even the boiling point was not 100 degree, was not minus 85 degree. The boiling point at what temperature they turn into vapor state was 110 degree, more than the boiling point of both the component. Those are called maximum boiling azeotrope. Understood? Yes. So this is about the azeotrope and the two classification of azeotrope. I hope you have understood. And here minimum boiling point azeotrope will show positive deviation to the Raoult's law. Means whatever the mixture or the example are there for the positive deviation from the Raoult's law, those are minimum. Just think a trick you have to understand here is a positive deviation means they are a minimum. Positive, minimum. Maximum, negative deviation, non-ideal solution or negative deviation from the Raoult's law. Maximum, negative, minimum, positive. So whatever the examples are there for the positive deviation and the negative deviation will come under example for the minimum boiling point azeotrope and the maximum. Here I have written some of the example. You can just go through those examples. Okay. Yes. So these are like an example for the minimum boiling point azeotrope, or also called positive deviation, and maximum boiling point azeotrope is nothing but a negative deviation from the Raoult's law. Okay. I hope you understood, and even the way of remembering, as I have already explained, positive deviation of a non-ideal solution means definitely we're going to get alcohol and the acetone, and CS2 will be a different one. Okay, when it comes to a maximum or a negative deviation, definitely we're going to have a acid. Okay, so this is about the azeotrope and the constant boiling mixture, and we will going to discuss some questions based on this. So here are some questions on like CET and the NEET based on azeotrope. Okay, so whatever the things I have explained, I hope you have understood. So if you have understood, please go through the tricks that I have given. Okay, so it would be very easy to solve the problems. So the first question is like, the azeotropic mixture of a water, its boiling point is given, and HCl with a boiling point minus 85 degrees Celsius boils at 108.5 degrees Celsius. When this mixture is distilled, it is possible to obtain pure HCl, option A, pure water, option B, and option C is pure water as well as a pure HCl. Option D is neither HCl or water in their pure state. Means it's quite simple. The question is that the azeotropic mixture, we have a water and HCl mixture and the boiling point is given. Okay, where they boils at 108.5 degrees Celsius. So when they boil at this temperature, is it possible to get a pure HCl or pure water, or pure water as well as a pure HCl, neither HCl or water in their pure states? Okay, so it is quite simple. In the first line only they have given it's a azeotropic mixture. So as I discussed, azeotropic mixture or constant boiling mixture means we can't separate each component when it is a constant boiling mixture. Okay, so when we start boiling this water plus HCl mixture, it is not possible to separate water and HCl. Okay, so the option is we can't get neither HCl or water in their pure state. Okay, it is because it's an azeotropic mixture. So here you could find one more question here only. See, So it's an azeotropic mixture, I agree. Water boiling point is 100 degree and the HCl boiling point is minus 85 degree. But this mixture will boil at 108.5 degrees. So can you think which type of azeotropic mixture it is? Whether it's a maximum or minimum. Okay, just think on this and just comment me, okay, in the comment box, so that I can tell whether you have understood the concept or not. Okay, yes. Next one question is, so it is like, the boiling point of an azeotropic mixture of water and ethanol is less than that of a water and ethanol. The mixture is, see, I am repeating the question. The boiling point of an azeotropic mixture means we have a mixture water and ethanol, which is an azeotropic solution or a mixture. Its boiling point is less than that of a water and ethanol. So the mixture shows no deviation from the Raoult's law, positive deviation from the Raoult's law, negative deviation from the Raoult's law, that the solution is unsaturated. So can you think over it? Quite simple. The trick what I have told you, had to get that one. If it is a maximum boiling azeotrope, its deviation is negative. If it is a minimum boiling azeotrope, its deviation is positive. Just think in opposite. Just connect in opposite way, you will going to get. So what they are telling, the boiling point of an azeotropic mixture of water and ethanol is less. So when it is less, it's a minimum boiling point azeotrope. So when the word less, minimum comes, the opposite of that is positive deviation. So the answer is positive deviation from Raoult's law. This is one way of thinking and answering. And another way is that here the mixture is water and ethanol. So I had told you the trick here also. When the alcohol comes, it is a positive deviation, non-ideal solution with a positive deviation. This I have told. Okay, so when the alcohol comes, obviously it's a positive deviation from the Raoult's law. So there is a two-way. So whenever you try to answer, so the answer will be in the question itself. When you start reading the question once or twice, or I could say the practice makes man perfect. If you solve more and more questions, it becomes very easy to solve other in an exam in an easy way or in a quick way. Okay, that is what I suggest. Next, isopropyl ether plus isopropyl alcohol is which azeotrope? Okay, repeating, isopropyl ether and isopropyl alcohol is which azeotrope? Okay, option: minimum boiling point heterogeneous mixture, maximum boiling point heterogeneous mixture, minimum boiling point homogeneous mixture, minimum boiling point heterogeneous mixture. Sorry, here it should come as a heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so think and tell. Quite simple. We have a alcohol here, right? As I told, when alcohol comes, it is a positive deviation from the Raoult's law, non-ideal solution with a positive deviation. So it is a positive deviation. Opposite of that is, positive means like a minimum boiling point azeotrope. This is how you have to connect. Positive deviation will be minimum boiling point azeotrope. Negative deviation will be maximum boiling point azeotrope. So they are telling it is like a positive deviation since alcohol is there. Okay, so it's a minimum boiling point azeotrope. But the problem is we have minimum boiling point heterogeneous mixture option is there. We have minimum boiling point homogeneous mixture is there. So which one you will going to choose? Yes, see, isopropyl alcohol and the isopropyl ether are always like a homogeneous mixture. Alcohol, since being a polar solvent, will mix with any other solvent easily. Okay, so it is minimum boiling point homogeneous mixture. So it is an option third which is correct. So this is how you need to think. So if you follow the trick that I have told, it becomes very easy to answer such type of questions. Okay, so the last question that I have taken here is, which of the following could be an azeotropic mixture? They have given like which of the following could be an azeotropic mixture. Okay, like components belonging to the same functional group, or geometrical isomers, or functional isomers, or chain isomers. Okay, so this question is left for you. So just go through the different examples I have given for the azeotropic mixture and connect the examples and think what it might be. How are the azeotropes of the same functional group, or the mixture is like a geometrical isomers, or they are functional isomers, or chain isomers? So let me know the answer. Just comment and let me know. And thank you. I hope you have understood the concept and have discussed some of the questions on this. Okay, so for more videos, please like and subscribe. Thank you.